I'm just all over the place right now. I mean, even off camera. Hi guys, my name is MJ, and if you've been following along, you probably have watched some of my previous videos. One of the most recent, I think that was like earlier this year, I was filming in England, but now I am home, back in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I've been wanting to film an update video for a pretty long time. And so that's what I plan on doing now. Sorry, the lamp almost fell over, so I'm just gonna fix that. This is my first time living and working in the Bay Area while being an adult. There are a few things that I guess I want to update you guys on. One is where I am currently in the world, which I've already told you, San Francisco Bay Area. And two, what it's been like. And three, what are my hopes for now. So I spent time in England mid-September to mid-July, and after mid-July I was able to go around Europe for a few days or a couple weeks with my family. The plan was to go over there to help get my stuff and help like take me back to the US, just that I don't have to travel alone, and it was really nice. And so after England we were able to go to Rome, Italy, and then Venice, and then flew over to Barcelona in Spain and spent time in Madrid, Spain also, which was completely beautiful. I had tacos for the first time in like 10 months, but when of course I've had some tacos, homemade tacos, but it's not the same. And if you've never have gone to England, the food is very different. It's much more healthier. It has like better like just quality. Being back, actually, it's been so crazy that bread doesn't mold as fast because I'm so used to, of course, being in England and knowing that I have to eat the food that I've bought at least within a week and a half. A week, I think, as regular terms. Something that I've noticed. And so the food there, I have to admit, I miss a good burrito. So once I got back to the US, I made sure I got some In-N-Out, some burritos, homemade food of course that my mom makes. So if you also don't know, I'm half Mexican, half Filipino, and both my parents cook, which has been a complete blessing. Yeah, so just ate a lot, which means that I have to run more often, and I miss running. I ran cross country in my last year of university, and I also played high school softball, so running is incorporated in both, of course. Like, what sport doesn't have running in it? Well, I don't know, I guess I can think so. Badminton. Well, you have to, I guess, just keep stamina. So anyways, I digress. Oh my gosh. And I guess that throughout this whole thing, I just hope that you're in the process with me of what videos are gonna look like. And I think this one, would like it to be like a chill, this is me, this is my face, this is where I am right now, emotionally, mentally, physically, and it has been so crazy. Just figuring out a lot of things, learning a lot of things, and so we're currently in, like, essentially my family home. Well, yes, my family home, but this was the house that I grew up, like, I think during high school, so it wasn't like my childhood home, but it has like significant history in my family just because we've been here for a while. Since getting back, I'm sure I'll be able to do a whole video on my experience in England, and if my English people are watching, I miss you. I'm gonna hug the camera at the end of the video, but I miss you guys so much, and I think about you often. Just recently there was a student ball, and I was thinking, wow, this time last year, just thinking about the student ball last year, that is so fast. Time is moving very quickly. Anyways, but initial plan, I'm just all over the place right now. I mean, even off camera. Initially, when I got back to the US, my plan was to go back to England and start a master's program. So when I start applying for the application, so many things just didn't work out that I decided to ultimately defer my application to next year and apply on the Tier 5 visa, which is a religious ministry visa that Chroma Church. Oh my goodness, Chroma! I miss you guys. So I was able to volunteer at Chroma, which is what I did this past year. So that's where I have been in Leicester, Leicester, UK, and I miss it. Again, oh my gosh, how many times am I gonna say that I miss you guys? I think it is just something that I mean, of course, that I really do miss you guys. In the visa process, a lot of things just kept falling through, and so I applied for the religious ministry visa, which I think is tier 5 for the UK, and I was able to get everything in. I paid for everything and I got it sent over. I got everything and I was able to send everything over, my passport, the documents they needed, and then I had hoped to have gone back, I believe, early September. That was the plan. But because there was much a longer waiting period than I anticipated, I actually didn't hear back from them. Maybe late September, early... No, yeah, I think it was still September when I found out. I actually got an email from the head office saying that my visa was unfortunately rejected. And it was because I could not apply on the same visa as I did last year. There must have been at least a 12-month gap. And so in this email, they expressed that if I could prove that I wasn't in England for 12 months previous applying, then I'd be okay to go. And I was like, nope, it's all over my Instagram. it's there. The proof, all I need is to look at my Instagram. That I was actually in England. So heartbroken, I was devastated. And also, if you don't know, I am Christian. I believe that there was a man 2,000 years ago who came and discipled people and saved the world. And I'm in love with him. Anyways, I'm gonna keep going. So I am Christian, and going to go back to England and enter another church was my heart's desire, and even just with the people there, and I honestly believe that people make a place. And I just see countless ways that statement has nourished my life. And so because my visa was denied, I let the people back over in Leicester know what was happening. I tried looking at maybe reactivating my college visa to start at a later date, and starting later was an option, but I guess I felt that starting later wouldn't benefit me just educationally, because I've never gone to school in England. The education system is very different in England. I'm sure I could have done it, but there were just so many things, still so many things fell through with the student visa that it wasn't going to work out, and so that was a dead end. And so I decided to look at the visitor's visa, and that only gives me, I believe, 3 months. And so if I do go on a visitor's visa and I have to come back, I don't know how long the waiting time I'd have until I return. And so that was still uncertain on how that would work out, and I guess it just wouldn't look good on the UK government's radar that, oh, I got denied for a visa, now I'm coming in on a visit. That sounds pretty sketch. So wanting to honor the government well and wanting to do this process the best that I can, I decided to wait to start the student visa next year. So 2023 in September, I'm hoping to start the master's program at De Montfort University in creative writing. And De Montfort University is located in Leicester, as well as University of Leicester. And I'm really excited to get to start, so hopefully I'll get to return in September next year. In the meantime, I have been working, I have been spending time with family and eating all the foods that I've missed, but at the same time running, making time to do the things that I've missed while being home. For instance, one of my nephews was born days after I left the US to go to England, so I got to meet him for the first time. and it's been so special. I get to watch him every Wednesday for the past 2 months. Any other updates? I think I've actually been interested in what it looks like to social media. Social media is such a big part of a big part that revolves in our culture. I mean, it's so integrated, it's meshed, it's intertwined into daily life, professional, business, personal, and the things that happen that are bad, and not bad, I mean the difficulties we go through, and wanting to share that on social media. I think in terms of as a culture, sharing things that like we go through, yes, there is this grace, I think, to post things on social media for people to know about, and I think that spreads like a wider blanket, I believe, of encouragement and community, which bonds us together. And so I think right now, I guess I am in a tough spot, but in terms of wanting to share it, I probably won't on social media, just because I do want this space. I mean, I'd hope to continue with YouTube and create just a space here that I would want to spread positivity. I'd want to spread connectiveness, unity, conversations about life, and that seems very broad. That seems like a very big topic. Maybe in terms of my life, and it's been so cool just seeing the interactions with my last video, that wanting to post and record this new one is something that I've like really been thinking about. So I think right now, if you are Christian, if you're not, there's a man who loves you very much, and his name is Jesus, and he has been my strength these past couple of months. I mean, my whole life. And so I think I'm in a season right now of still readjusting to what it looks like to live life in the Bay, and loving. I truly am loving it. My coworkers at work, they've been beautiful. My sister, my younger sister, she's been like my best friend, and just figuring out what family looks like, I think. Well, what's really interesting, something that I've noticed, or like just something I thought of, was that because I left home around 18, 19 years old, I've done a lot of growing up, if that makes sense. Like, so I went to university. I graduated with a bachelor's in English, and I drove up to Reading. Reading is where I lived in for 7 years. Oh my goodness, and I miss Reading. It had its ups and downs. It's very different from the Bay Area, but I think that's the place where I essentially fell in love with Jesus, and he's definitely redeemed Reading for me. And now that I've done a lot of growing up there, it's an opportunity, I think, to show my parents and my family like who I am now, if that makes sense. And it's like, oh yeah, I know I'm the same person as I was when I was in middle school and high school as a kid, but remnants of that I know still live inside of me. But knowing that now I get to step into a fuller version of who I am, only because it's who Jesus says that I am, it's something that I get to share. And I know that, and I think one of my friends back in Leicester, she invited me over to her house for dinner when I first got to Leicester, and she said, I believe she said something like, our parents are still growing up. If you think about it, I'd hope that there was some difference, some change in at least 3 to 5 years, and I think I've gone through some radical change just in my interaction with myself, with other people who, I mean, I was a very shy kid growing up, and when I went to university, I actually came out of my shell. And not to say like that's like a bad thing to be shy, but it's just a characteristic that I had, that I love people. Like sometimes in high school, I would walk out of my house and I'd think, and I'd see people working on their cars, the kids playing out in the yard, and I think, ew, people. And I'm sure it's like some of you still feel that way. And there's a little part of me that I think feels that way too, but at the same time there is this desire to get to know stories, is the desire to know people for who they are and to meet them there. So I can say and do say that I love people. I just love talking to people. I love listening to them. I love to hear stories. I think that's probably one of the biggest things. And spending time with people. It's just really good. So in a general sense, life right now is good. Like, I believe that it's good. But I mean, there are of course a few things I would love to change. Family relationships, circumstances, things that I know that that are difficult, that does cause friction or heartbreak or grief. But at the same time, I know, again, being a Christian, resting on the Lord's chest, letting Jesus speak into my life and the community that He surrounded me with, that is where my strength is drawn. That is where I get to do life. And I'm almost gonna start crying. LOL. I'm not gonna cry I think I did cry in my last video that I did months ago. I hopefully, I think, as this, this YouTube thing progresses, I mean, you'll learn that I am a crier. Crying is like a default setting, and I think that just comes with a very tender heart, or just like, I don't know, it's just the way I'm built. Anyways, I'm just really excited for the future. I'm really excited for the time that I have here, working as much as I can. While I was in England, I wasn't allowed to work on the visa that I was on, and that's something else that I plan on doing too. Another video about just the visa process, things that I wish I knew before going to England, I think would be the title of it. I don't know. Keep you posted. And it was just very different. It was a learning curve, readjusting in staying here, staying home, because I think once I landed back in the US, there was this switch that happened in my mind where I was like, okay, now I have to prepare to return to England, and that didn't happen. So it's like, oh, it's okay. Like, I'm knowing that I'm gonna go back, knowing that I need to build something here. I believe the Lord has me here for a specific reason, and it has been prevalent. It has been very important, and the reasons why I am here. And I'm really, really glad that I am here. Trust me, like, as much as I miss and talk about England, especially with my family, it's like, there is no undeniable fact that I was meant to be home during this time. And still, one of the things I believe is, no matter what my current circumstance holds, the Lord is still worthy. Like, praise Him that He isn't a God based on my emotion. Isn't that crazy? Like, the Lord is not surprised by any circumstance, by our response, by the way that we come to Him. He wants it all. And honestly, if you don't know Him, message me. I don't know if there's a personal DM. I'm gonna leave my Instagram and all the things. Please DM me if you do not know or follow the Lord. I would like to have a conversation, and please let it be honorable. That I understand that putting myself, other people who put themselves on social media platforms open up themselves to criticism or negative feedback or just like rude comments. Let's be kind here, and I think with everything that's happening in the world, let's be kind. Yeah, and so I think that would be a really cool opportunity, just to meet people and know who watches these videos, because I'm just like one human being out of millions. And so, like, if you're watching this, what an honor, and know you are so loved, and you're the one and only. Like, there's no one else in the entire world like you. Like, let that sink in. I'm gonna let that sink in. Wow. Anyways, okay, so as of right now, I hope to make these videos. I hope to, I still like have a job. I have a job that I go to every morning. I still like eat Bay Area food, home food. I go on runs as often as I can, and I love running. I love hiking. I want to go back to Reading. There's this hike called Castle Crags, and that's probably like my favorite place to go hiking, just because it is very vigorous and the views, oh my gosh, it's so crazy. We're like living in the Bay and then going out to a place like Reading. It's different, let me tell you. I'll probably do a whole video on that too. So again, it's like maybe I'm just like saying these things aloud just so you kind of know the vibe, the gist of like knowing who I am and what to expect from this channel. And hopefully that is just fun and encouragement and knowing that we're in this together, because the world, the world, the world. Yeah, so hopefully I'll do like another video of like more details about myself, but in terms of wanting to give updates, that's all I got. I'm in California. I'm with my family and kind of just spending a lot of time with the Lord and his perspective on my life right now. Yeah, but if you got this far, thank you for watching. It probably was a lot, and I don't know how coherent it was, but it is really, really cool to be able to do this, and I'm really excited to see where this takes, and I guess don't expect anything to take me anywhere. Thank you again for watching, and I'm sure there are more videos that are gonna come about specific things, because I need to talk to England about England. I need to talk see? I get up early, guys. Work makes me get up early, but I enjoy it. I love the mornings. Seeing the sunrise and seeing the sunset, wow, what a time. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye!